Hi, it's Heather from Electric Needle Girls. Today I'm going to do something just a little bit different, but it is still using my trusty electric needle. I'm going to sew some badges on what is a Cub shirt, but it could be a Joey, Cub Scout, Venturer, Rover, Leader, whatever shirt, because they're all about the same. This is a shirt for a brand new Cub who was invested last week, and I think it's a him, but it could be a her. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this little person who has probably just turned 8 needs their badges sewn on. Now, I know lots of parents have difficulty with this. I have done it on a machine for more than 40 years because I've been doing this kind of thing for a long, long time. My mum always used to do it by hand, of course, and I was talking to my sister-in-law the other day and she still does it by hand. But I thought I'd show you how I do it on the machine because it's quicker and that's the way I do it because I'm an electric needle girl. So the first thing I've done today, and I often do this, but I don't normally write it, is I have a sampler and I have written out, I've got to look at this, 2.5 wide, now that's millimeters of course, by 1.4 long in the stitch. That's the gap between the zigzag because we just use a fairly plain zigzag. So this is any machine that does this. And if you have a zigzag machine, you can work out the size you need just by working out how wide the badge is. And I did 3 other samples. I did 3 by 1.4, 3 by 1.6, and 2 by 1.4. And I've decided that the 2.5 by 1.4 is right. Now, as I say, they're millimeters, and some old machines that still do zigzag perfectly well will do a zigzag, and you can adjust the sizes in whatever increment they have. So that's the first thing I do. I have 3 spools of thread on my machine because I need navy. This is navy. I need a purple for the world badge, which is here. I need black for the district badge. Now, this is the basics for all people in the Scout movement across Australia. They get 5 initial badges. There's more badges that come along in all different colours. I try to match my top thread to the colour of the outer of the badge, and then I've got a navy thread in the bobbin because the shirt's mainly navy, even though the sleeves are yellow. I don't change the bobbin all the time. Then the other thing I do, which I think is just a tad remarkable, which other people go, ooh, but anyway, glue stick or school glue or whatever is washable. So when the shirt gets washed, and they have to be washed every week or so because kids get hot and sweaty and run around and do things at Cubs and Scouts and Joeys and all that. So, and that has a label, and a paper label on the back. I take that off because that's really just a barcode for pricing in my trusty bin under the table. So I glue baste these, and I'm putting this pin away because I'll recycle those. Oh, because I do quite a few of these. Anyway, there it goes. So I put glue on the back of the badge, because if I were to pin it, the pin would distort the badge because they are such a thick piece of fabric and interfacing and stitching and all that jazz. It doesn't, I know it does because I've done it in the past. The glue is a relatively new, I'm going to have to put my glasses on here, people. Oh, they're a bit gooby, but anyway, so I put that on there and I glue baste it. Now it's worth waiting a couple of minutes for that to go off, or iron it, and that will make the glue harden. And then I might undo this button because I've got to get into the shirt. Now I've put my machine onto, my machine went to sleep because I've been talking to you for a while. I have got a As I said to you, I've got a 2.5 millimeter width, 1.4 long, and I have it set on a locking zigzag stitch because I've got a choice with my zigzags. And because this is a nice big fancy machine, because I'm really lucky, I can also lock and cut the thread at the end. So I will do that. So, as I said, I have a navy thread in the bobbin, and I open out the shirt. So I want all the shirt out here. Now this Australian, you know, it says Scouts Australia and it's the Australian flag. That is one of the easiest ones to do because it's square. The round ones aren't hard to do. They take a little bit more concentration. We'll call it concentration. How's that? So I'm going to put my presser foot down. I've got my J foot on, or my zigzag foot on. I'm just aligning that on there. And I'm going to do a locking stitch. Now I start this right near the corner. I'm going to take it back a little bit. Right near the corner of the long edge. So I'm at the top of the badge. And as I say, it's going to, I'm just going to pull that up because I want my threads to go to the back. Just keeps the front neater. And I will start sewing, and I have to sew, and I can't talk and sew and follow a line all at the same time. But I'm just doing this one badge for you, and then you'll get the idea of what to do. So I have glue basted this in place into the correct spot where it's been pinned by the leader at the investiture. And here we go. So locking stitch first. So it's locking the thread, tying it off, and now I'm moving. And it does, there we go. Sometimes they need a little bit of a push at the beginning because it just takes a moment for the feed dogs to pick up on all of the thickness. Now I'm getting close to the corner, and I'm going to, okay, my needle is on the outside and I'm at the corner, so I'm going to turn around. So my needle is down. If you don't have needle down selection, you can always wind it with the flywheel and bring your needle down, and then my presser foot's going down again. My needle is in the right hand position as I'm looking at the machine, and off I go again, so it'll go left, right, left, right. So here we go again. I'm only going slowly. I actually have my machine set on a fairly slow speed. I can alter the speed on this machine because I've been quilting and I like to quilt with it on a, I'm just going to go one stitch. Now I've stopped within the left position, and I will pivot again. And I've pivoted on the inside corner of this one. Doesn't matter whether you're the inside or the outside, but you want, if you're going to do it, you do it where it works, that you go all the way around the badge. So I've turned around again. So now I'm coming across the bottom of the badge, zigzagging again. And I'm only zigzagging over the, it looks like an overlocking stitch or an overcasting stitch on the end of the, on the edge of the badge. One more stitch. And I'm going to, now I can pivot with my pedal on the floor, which is very nice. Again, I'm very lucky. I've got a wonderful machine, and I am very grateful for it. And I'm down again. I left my needle in the left position on the inside corner of the badge. And off I go again. Now I'm going to do one more stitch, and I've got a locking stitch button here, and that will lock the threads and cut them. Now this is how I've sewn it on. You can maybe be able to see that. It's neat. It can be removed because it's a zigzag stitch. I am going to just trim those threads on the back because we don't need those. I use polyester thread. In fact, the most important thing I find is to match the colour rather than the type of thread. This all happens to be, this is polyester thread, and these two are cotton, but they've got a polyester core that's spun around it. So they've got all strong threads, and they're UV stabilised and all that stuff. But if you can't match, you're better off to go a little bit darker than a little bit lighter, because sometimes you get strange colours. But anyway, so the next one I've got the world badge to do, which is a circle, which again is a little bit, I would always stop with my needle on the inside and pivot around. And I've then got the sleeve badges, and I've stuck them all on with the glue. And I put as you see this, you can tell whereabouts I live in Australia. Well, close to where I live anyway. It's not where I live, but so we've got, this is how they're labelled in Australia, because you know where every kid comes from, by their scarf and the badges on their sleeves and all that stuff. So this is the first Epping, so that's the actual group. And you know they're a cub because they're in yellow. Plenty Valley region, that's the region, so that's bigger than, and then it's the Whittlesea district. And that's a relatively new badge for the district. I know that because I've been sewing these badges on for this group for quite a while. And so we use, and I will do these ones next, because I just catch both of the labels, these tapes, with the one zigzag, because they're right next to one another. I hope that helps. And really, they're kids that you're doing it for. You know, if you're a grandma or an aunt or an uncle or a grandpa or somebody, or a mum or a dad who have access to a sewing machine and it's got a zigzag stitch, you can do it. The glue basting is, I'll show you that again. Now this is, you pick this up at the supermarket, and there's a smaller one as well, but I didn't have one today. I use this a lot. As I say, it washes out, but just basting things together, it's magic. And it's a game changer with things like this, because pinning just becomes very awkward. I hope that's been really helpful. Don't know what else to say. Look forward to more videos. I've got some in the pipeworks. I'll take my glasses off now because I know they are dirty. Look out for Vicky and myself, and we'll talk to you soon. Have fun. Thank you.